What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Lights, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize winner for great content. It's going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. I'm wearing this lovely shade of pink because I'm going to the Barbie movie. I wanted to go to the Oppenheimer movie. My wife, she wanted to go to the Barbie movie. So we compromised, and we're going to the Barbie movie. That's how it works, everybody. Anyway, check out BetMGM. Really good stuff with them. You can sign up for that in the video description box below. But today, I want to just set the table a little bit. We've got the MLB trade deadline fast approaching here. August 1st, Tuesday. It's coming fast. It's coming furious. Be prepared. I'm going to talk about everything as though the deadline is tomorrow. I'm going to talk about everything as though it's all happening tomorrow because there's going to be a ton of news that happens. We're going to see players maybe get scratched, pulled in the middle of games. Things can happen that are just wonky and unpredictable. So I have no locks for you on the card going into tomorrow, which I know might make some of you mad, but here's the deal. I'm going to be updating my Twitter constantly. I'm going to be doing Lindy's Locks update. I have one spot in particular that I'm very interested in, the Tampa Bay Rays, that I think could be an absolute massive smash spot depending on where that line drops. But books are very cautious coming towards this MLB trade deadline. So we want to be proactive. We want to try to be reacting to the news as it comes. We want to make sure that we get our money in the correct spots based on news that we have at that given point in time. Good, great, grand. That is what we're going for tomorrow. I don't also want to give you guys locks with crazy amounts of news for certain teams. And I talked through all the implications. I'm going to go through everything for you for each specific spot because I love you, I care about you, and I want to make money with you. So we're going to do that. Check out BetMGM only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. You can sign up for that in the video description box below. Get yourself 2 months hanging out in the premium Discord with me, with a lot of sharp people. Again, let's try to react. Let's try to be very, very smart about what we're doing with our money tomorrow. Caution is always a good thing to have when it comes to betting on days like this. But then being reactive is equally as important. Check out producer Jacob over there. He's happy. Waka waka. He got to see Oppenheimer because he's cool and I'm not. That's really it. 10 games on this MLB Monday. Let's get to the picks. We begin our day, and I don't know why. Cantina, Star Wars people. Just feels like the intro to dun 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 dun. Gonna be an interesting day here in the old trade deadline. Does the Empire, the Yankees, make any moves? For me, I got my eye on the Dodgers. Are they gonna add any starting pitching that matters? Because again, Lance Lynn, Joe Kelly, it's interesting. Not having the best of years. Maybe they can retool them, revamp them. Maybe they know something we don't, like a Tampa Bay who acquired Zach Eflin and struck gold. Like that. Beverly Hills, the Beverly Hillbilly. I can't remember the name of that show. But anyway, we've got ourselves Philadelphia at Miami. And in the trade deadline discussions here, Miami's got starting pitching for days. They're having the best season they've had in a long time. Do they go out of their way to acquire any bats at 57 and 49? I don't know. Because we do see these Phillies coming on strong. And yeah, Trey Turner's having the worst season of his career. But they're still pretty deep as a lineup. Nobody's denying that. And anytime you have a 1-2 punch of an Aaron Nola, of a Zach Wheeler, you're going to have pretty good chances to win games come October. That's what we saw last year. That's why they played in the World Series. And obviously they have a better roster, I would argue, this year. But Trey Turner, he's got different ideas. So we're going to be paying very close attention to everything in this one. But as it stands right now, we do not have a line for this game because Philadelphia could be moving pieces to get pieces. Maybe you move an Alec Bohm to acquire, I don't know. I doubt Nolan Arenado or some third baseman in that kind of capacity. That's not going to be happening, but I guarantee you they want to add a bat if they can, which would just be ridiculous because it's all lefty power, Harper, Schwarber, and then Castellanos having a really nice season himself. You get Real Muto, one of the best hitting catchers in baseball, even though he's had a down year for his abilities. Does he have revenge in his heart against Miami? Probably not, considering he got paid because of his performance there. But Taijuan Walker on the mound for Philly. Edward Cabrera here for the Fishies. Cabrera, he's got strikeout stuff for the most part. It's decent. 28% K rate, 204 expected batting average. But that 38.5% hard hit percentage and 14.3% walk rate are a little bit targetable. And I'm very curious because of the ballpark and because of his pitching profile, which is pretty decent, if we can get some value going against him. And Taijuan Walker, he's been pitching better. Yeah, 20.9% K rate, 9.8% walk rate, nothing dandy there, but he's continued to get better as the season's gone along to a certain extent. You know what you're getting with him, that is, but I'm just looking at Edward Cabrera and maybe, just maybe, Kyle Schwarber is outside of plus 300. I'm not thinking it's super likely. I have the break even on this at plus 285, so there's a little bit of window for this to be a play for us. But Kyle Schwarber, somebody that I want facing righties that have any opportunity to suppress his number, plus 250, I'm not going to be firing up Schwarber anytime soon, nor should you. But even though he's hitting 183, he's got 27 jacks still on the season, down from last year, but a 458 expected slugging, 46% hard hit percentage with an 18.2 degree average launch angle. Prepare for liftoff. Yeah, that's going to be a decent enough spot here in Miami. Maybe we get that number, wait and see approach, but my home run model really, really likes him. Let's talk one more prop here before we start getting into some of the nitty gritty of these games. And we do have a line for this one, and obviously I would be leaning towards the Milwaukee money line for all you people who don't have access to the home run props, to the pitching props, to the things that I try to incorporate, a little bit of everything for everybody. And my ROI is higher in player props over the course of this season. That's not surprising. It has been for every single season of my 7 years betting. That's because, well, if you want to be getting value on things the night before, you're probably going to be profitable if we can jump in on the right side of things and beat closing on value. Otherwise, as you're betting closer to first pitch, much more difficult to beat that 55% kind of number that you're looking for here to break even on that whole minus 110 goodness. But obviously minus 185 here. Regardless, it's all about implied odds, what the expected win percentage is. And with Corbin Burnes on the mound, I am definitely going to be looking at them going up against Jake Irvin here. Now, Washington, they are shopping Lane Thomas. That is word on the street. However, he's been so bad against righties over the course of this season, despite the speed, the insane speed that he brings to the table, and he does have power against lefties. He might be more strictly a platoon guy if a team tries to go out and acquire him, and obviously Washington might covet him a little bit more than what the overall market does, but that would be a huge downgrade regardless of the fact that they're facing a righty, mainly because who's going to replace him? It's going to be Corey Dickerson. It'll be a Michael Chavez having entered the lineup alongside a Dominic Smith. You'll have Corey Dickerson for sure in that lineup. Maybe Stone Garrett has to be playing no matter what as well. A lot of iterations that I'm paying very close attention to for what this Washington lineup could roll out. And that's where I think you could be jumping on this number a little bit early and find value. But because Corbin Burnes is so good, and I'm not even going to talk about Jake Irvin, he's limits hard contact to a certain extent. 35.8% hard hit percentage, but a 454 expected slugging, 345 xWOBA, and conditions are perfect for the old launch angle, 16.2 degree average launch angle there, 18.3% K rate. Hi, Christian Yelich. How are you doing this fine day? Glad to see you're back doing well, and you went yah again in Atlanta, even though Atlanta covered the minus 1.5 for us. That was good stuff in the premium Discord. However, friends, Corbin Burnes up to 7Ks. This is very interesting to see what we're going to be running into for a K prop on him. I have this number. I've been projecting a couple of these. I've got him closer to 7.5 strikeouts. Now, I'm assuming that the number at 6.5 that we're going to be getting on the over of that. I'm assuming that we're going to be getting something close to plus money, or maybe minus 105 or better, something inside of that. Mainly because this Nationals team against right-handed pitching does not strike out at all. 18.7% K rate. But Corbin Burnes has the kind of stuff, the kind of ability that transcends that. Yes, just a 25.4% K rate, but pitching deep into games, he's not going anywhere. Milwaukee's not going to unload him in any way, shape, or form. So up to 7Ks. That's kind of the break-even number. If you want to attach that to the Milwaukee money line, I don't completely hate it. To the game that I have absolutely no clue what to do with. What do the Yankees do? How do they value their chances having just gotten Aaron Judge back? They have Rizzo on a down year. They're having Stanton going. They've got prospects. They could move pieces, but part of the problem is that a lot of the guys that you would want, Schmidt or Volpe, like, they've shown out. We kind of know who they are at the big league level so far, and it hasn't been knock you on your butt impressive. Hasn't been completely insane. Anthony Volpe, 232 expected batting average and a 28.5% K rate. A lot of what they've done is just finding guys like Billy McKinney off the street, Jake Bauers, who went yard here on Sunday, even though they were getting slaughtered. And yes, on Baltimore money line as well, salvaging the day in a beautiful way. But also, can we give Adley Rushman a shout out? 2+ hits, over plus 230 at FanDuel. He hits it in the first inning. I've never ran that good. That was running pretty good. I've ran worse, I can tell you that. But Tampa Bay on the other side, of course, the AL East, them in Baltimore. What are they going to do? Because Jordan Montgomery, neither team ended up picking him up, which is a little bit surprising that he ends up going to Texas in addition to Max Scherzer, and then sounds like they're getting attached to Justin Verlander. Texas making moves. They don't dance now, they just make money moves. That's what it is. Cardi B also threw a mic at somebody who was awesome. Good for her. But I feel pretty confident Tampa Bay is going to make moves. I feel pretty confident. I have no idea what they are, but this lineup iteration could come out very, very differently, at least for one day. Now, they had Rene Pinto ended up catching there, which was kind of a strange thing to me because they have Bethancourt, who's traditionally been the guy there, but I don't know. Is that somebody that they could package along going somewhere else? I don't know. It's an interesting outlook for what Tampa Bay is going to be doing. As for New York, again, their big pieces, Judge, Stanton, Rizzo, LeMahieu, Torres, they're not going anywhere. But they need to add starting pitching in some capacity. I don't think this is going to be a spot where you're going to see some kind of a late scratch or something of that capacity. But, I mean, they really want to be retooling in some capacity, and I don't know how they do it. I have Domingo Germán as their projected starter here. That's the TBD. But Tyler Glasnow is the Tampa Bay guy. So if you were going to watch Lindy's Locks update tomorrow, if I'm going to be doing anything here, more than likely it's going to be jamming Tampa Bay. You hear me? Jamming Tampa Bay. Now it says lean here because I'm not sure what this number is, but on the road, Tyler Glasnow, I'm more than happy to back a pitcher with a 34.8% K rate against guys with massive K rates. We're talking Judge, 28.8%. Jake Bauers, 30% on the dot. Anthony Volpe, 28.5%. Kyle Higashioka, who's now your everyday catcher, 27.9% K rate. Giancarlo Stanton, 23.1%. Billy McKinney, 24.8%. You're getting my drift, right? Yeah. Tyler Glasnow is going to mow down bats. Might be looking to package this along with a Glasnow K-prop, depending on where those numbers drop. Lots to be mined through here, but I think this might be my favorite spot to react to news depending on when the line drops, who could get traded, if anybody, and does it really matter? I don't know. Tyler Glasnow against Domingo Germán. That looks like a mismatch to me. Please give us something palatable from Tampa Bay. And now the other package of this AL East equation, Baltimore taking on Toronto. What does Baltimore do? They need starting pitching. You have Kyle Gibson starting in this spot against Chris Bassett. That is still a mismatch. And Dean Kramer, I felt good with him against this right-handed heavy type. Jake Bauers ends up going yard, but I felt pretty good about backing him there, even at minus 150, considering I just find everything to be broken in the Luis Severino bucket. He's broken, so you just bet against him. But going through the Baltimore starting rotation, Kyle Bradish, Dean Kramer, Grayson Rodriguez, who's struggled at the big league level so far. You got nothing. Kyle Gibson starting this one. I mean, we're talking a 43% hard hit percentage, 264 expected batting average. We do have a line here because I don't think either of these two starters are going anywhere. But once again, what are you doing here? Toronto, they're making moves, trying to make things happen in multiple capacities, going out and getting relievers, making things happen. In fact, I saw something come through here just a second ago. Somebody got traded. See? These are the things that happen with the trade deadline is I have to make sure I double check all of my work. Okay, good. It's Jordan Montgomery and Chris Stratton going to the Rangers still. Good. Okay. See, this is fun. It's not fun for you because you just want to hear me talk about bats, and that's what I'm going to do here. I do have a play from this one, though, which is kind of fun, huh? Chris Bassett, on the other side of this one, 37.4% hard hit percentage, 326 xWOBA, though, 250 expected batting average, and just a 22% K rate. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of lefties on this Baltimore squad. kind of why we wanted to attack Luis Severino and kind of why I want to attack Chris Bassett with some of this lefty power, and it exists in droves here at the top of this Baltimore lineup. Now, overall for the season against righties, just a 99 WRC plus. But you have to look at specific hitters. Adam Frazier having a pretty renounced season, went yard on Sunday. Adley Rutschman, who against every righty, very, 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 very good. Gunnar Henderson really bounced back after a slow start to his season. He was relegated to the 6-7 hole. Do you remember those days? They feel like forever ago because all he does is bat leadoff or second. Him and Rutschman just switching places. We're trading places. That's not the right context for that song. But we have plus 125 coming in here for Baltimore. I like it. Baltimore money line. I have another play from this one. Isn't that exciting? The Los Angeles Angels taking on the Atlanta Braves. What's better than betting against the Braves? A lot of things, because it's not very fun. That's why I generally don't do it. Back the run line. Of course, Matt Olson hits a 2-run shot to salvage it. 8-6. We convert that ticket somehow, some way. Living a charmed life. Or, Atlanta just has lots of home run potential, and they're a disaster to be facing for anybody. Good luck to you, Griffin Canning. Have fun, pal. You're on the bump here against Charlie Morton. And Charlie Morton gets the much easier matchup, no doubt about it. No Mike Trout in the lineup there. You have Shohei Ohtani to get by, and as Matt Chapman would say, he's the only effing hitter that can hit on that team. Matt Chapman, you're having a terrible year. Maybe don't talk shit. Just throwing it out there, brah. Throwing it out there, Brusky. But Shohei Ohtani, 437 xWOBA, 660 expected slugging. That is a make-believe, dumb little number. So, Charlie Morton, 333 xWOBA, 256 expected batting average. Not the greatest numbers, but the rest of this Angels lineup, despite the fact that they have been on the card, we ended up betting a half unit on them in the premium Discord there. They end up beating Toronto. That was lovely. Did lose to Troy, lost the over to Mets. See, I do lose some stuff too. Just want to be honest with the people. You don't win all the bets. We want to win more bets than what we lose. We want to make sure that when we have plus money bets that we make more money to make up for it. And in fact, that's kind of the theme of the middle of this card. We took Baltimore at plus money. Tampa Bay, I expect to be plus money. Well, I do not expect that. Tyler Glass now, but that was a lean regardless. I'm going to have to be updating you. But Baltimore money line. The Angels, plus 1.5 is plus money here. And Cincinnati money line coming up next. Ooh, foreshadowing. Ooh, don't skip ahead, please. Doesn't help you out. But Atlanta, yeah, it's terrifying. But Griffin Canning, I think, can at least survive. There are at least signs that he can. 25.5% K rate, 7% walk rate, 312 xWOBA, and a 45.7% hard hit percentage that is not good. But it's not going to be apocalyptic if he can just get some of those swings and misses. And, Acuna's up there with an 11.9% K rate. He's just having one of the dumbest seasons ever. Only problem is that, Shohei Ohtani is just having the most ridiculous of all ridiculous seasons, even though I think 20 jacks and 50 steals is pretty stupid too. Before August. My God. Then you don't strike out. His K rate is almost identical to his walk rate, 11.9% and 11.5%. Do you know how stupid that is? Got Matt Olson, Sean Murphy, Austin Riley, Marcell Ozuna, who I guess, you can make available, even though he's got a 538 expected slugging, 372 xWOBA has been just stupid himself. It's just a lavishly ridiculous team. Let's bet against them, shall we? Angels, plus money, plus 1.5, because I do meth. There you are, friends. Los Angeles Angels, plus 1.5. No, I don't. But it would seem like it with this pick. It's math. It's math. Let's talk BetMGM. Shiny thing. Squirrel. BetMGM, friends. Check it out. It's fantastic. And, well, there's a lot of reasons why. Here's number one. You want exposure to as many sportsbooks as possible. We're called Odd Shopper for a reason. It means you shop odds. You find the best line, no matter where the book is. I don't give a damn if it's at DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, Caesars, Bet365. I do not discriminate against the best line. I simply click on the best line every single time. No discrimination here, squirrel. Now keep your hands off the cheeks while I study how you ride the beach, you big freak. Skinny slim moment. Yeah, it's a great song. But 2 free months also of OS Premium Discord. You can sign up for that in the video description box below. That is myself, Eitan Shander, Ben Raza. We got Mike, our MMA guy. We've got Isaiah, our NASCAR guy. We have a guy for all of the things that you might be looking at betting in all of the land. BetMGM or wherever else, I do not care. We're posting our tickets every single day. Come hang out with us for 2 months completely free just by checking BetMGM, but that's not it. Your first bet, up to $1,000, will come back to you in bonus bets if it loses. So here's how it works. Let's say you deposit $50 and you're like, hey, I'll bet $25 on this first bet. Guess what? You're going to get $25 back in BetMGM bonus bets no matter what happens. If that bet loses, no matter what happens, you're either winning that bet or you're getting it back in bonus bets. That is a phenomenal situation. You can do that for $100, $200, up to $1,000, whatever you're comfortable in putting out there, you're going to get back in bonus bets no matter what. It's fantastic, fantastic stuff, my friends. Only if you're 21 and over, and if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. But check out BetMGM. Come hang out with us. It's a good time. Water's warm. Yeah. Guess I'm done talking. Back to the picks we go. Nothing like throwing out the pick that I was going to give before anything is available here, but we have no run line, which I thought was interesting, but it's always in conjunction with the total. I try to teach everybody all these things, but how this total comes out is going to, it's a huge difference. It's a run difference. That's the run line on both sides of it. And math, love math. I think the math is going wonky against Cincinnati. Now, they came into LA. They should have swept the Dodgers. Did anybody look at the Dodgers box score from Saturday? 2 hits, both of them Max Muncy home runs. They win 3-2. That is the dumbest box score I've ever seen ever. I don't know how that's possible, especially because Max Muncy, it's not like he's some hit generator. He's in like less than 200 on the season. Dude hits 2 yayas. What are we doing here? But then Cincinnati wins 9-0 on Sunday. That was lovely to watch, huh? Thank God I didn't bet against the Dodgers. Just stayed away from that one. They're figuring things out. Ahmed Rosario, probably looking like a platoon guy alongside Rojas. I didn't necessarily expect that from the jump, but Dodgers kind of know what they're doing. And, well, somebody trades for you, you're there. Like, you don't have a whole lot to say unless you got that no trade clause. And then you're Max Scherzer and you can waive it and just be like, yeah, I want to play for a contender because you're smart. And you're still getting paid bajillion dollars. So anyway, we got Mr. Abbott going up against Mr. Stroman. And Mr. Stroman, Marcus, he's been really good this season relative to his other seasons, having kind of a career best year, but still a 41.1% hard hit percentage. Only a 21% K rate. And yeah, the ground ball rate at 58.1%. That is the calling card. But overall, I'm not all that enthusiastic to go and back him against a team with a lot of power. And there's a lot of power in this Cincinnati lineup, especially against righties, when you at least get that opportunity to play the Fraley and Friedel combination in the 2 and 4 hole, respectively. So there you go. Have fun. Have fun. Oh, and really, the main reason that I want to be backing this team at plus money, yes, we got news that Cody Bellinger will not be made available by the Cubs, and I don't quite understand that. Do they think they're going to be buyers now all of a sudden? I'm a little bit surprised by it. Or they want to just extend him till multi-year, whatever. Abbott's awesome. 212 expected batting average, 27.8% K rate. My friends, we are firing that one up. Money line for Cincy, pretty clear cut. Again, no totals on the card. No locks on the card. Kind of a weird day, but I really like these 3 plus money plays right in the middle of your day. Give me some serviceable lines here. I am begging the prop gods above. Let the rain fall down and wake my dreams. Oh, you guys watched the O's. Come on. We all watched it. The Hills. No? You didn't all watch it? Okay. Jacob's shot. You're 26? Shut up. 35 wearing a pink Lacoste shirt. What do I know? Noah Syndergaard. He is on the mound here, making his debut for the Cleveland Guardians. A little bit surprising to me, a little bit surprising to you. I didn't expect to see that when I woke up this morning. But on the other side of this one, TBD. Yeah, you know me. You're down with TBD. Yeah, you know me. I have an idea of who it could be, pending trades, pending other things. I think it's going to be JP France. He's got a sub-3 ERA, 1.22 whip. He pitched on the 25th. Maybe they want to give him an extra day, but he's pitched on 5 days rest here as recently as his last start. So I think it's JP France. But Houston, reigning World Series champions, even though nobody likes that fact. Pretty positive that nobody likes that fact. Do they try to go back and get Verlander? That'd be the ultimate crazy Mets troll of the world, is just having to eat money on Justin Verlander's contract just to have him go back to Houston for another World Series run. Oh, what a time to be alive. Anyway, nobody really likes anything here other than two players I really like, Kyle Tucker, Yordan Alvarez. I bet them a lot. And Yordan Alvarez, welcome back, my friend. 600 expected slugging, 55.1% hard hit percentage. Give me anything. This is similar to that Kyle Schwarber play. Anything better than plus 290 here is in play for Yordan Alvarez. He doesn't get as much Crawford boxes unless he's going to go Apotaco. And Noah Syndergaard, there's times in his career when he's found ways to not give up hard hit. It's not this season. 494 expected slugging, 12.4 degree average launch angle on batted balls in play. Hello, Mr. Alvarez. You are cleared for launch. Houston, you do not have a problem with Yordan Alvarez going yard. 3 plays to go. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as we go to the biggest headache, I think, on the entire slate. What happens with the San Diego Padres? Who is up for sale? Is anybody other than Blake Snell on the trading block? That is the question. And yeah, I tried to short Blake Snell on Sunday. That didn't go so well. Only pitched 5 innings. Of course, he got to 9 strikeouts. I just thought he might get pulled early, or even I didn't see him getting extended to 6, 7 innings. But you want to show off your shiny toy, and well, could not have showed out a whole lot better than what he did against Texas. Got the swings and misses that a lot of teams are going to be coveting. But do they package him with a player or two? Now, here are a couple of your options, I think, of who could be on the block. Manny Machado. That's it. I don't see Juan Soto getting moved in any way, shape, or form. You just unloaded the farm for him. Fernando Tatis is untouchable, cannot get moved in any capacity. And I know Manny Machado got paid absolutely crazy amounts of money, but there are just rumblings. There are people that I know that randomly say things that blow me away. That was one little tidbit that I got where it's like, hey, they might try to cut bait with at least one of these major salary guys. Now, the Xander Bogaerts contract is a stone cold disaster for this baseball team because there's only so much money you can spend up to a certain amount when you're an owner. You're trying to not just bury yourself. And obviously, as a fan, you should never care when your team spends money. It's a jackpot for you in any capacity, but at least the sounds are. Again, this is probably a 10-15% outcome that this actually happens, so go ahead and go and troll me in the comment section. It's whatever. But the word is at least out there that that there might be interested parties that want to make this work to have him get moved. And well, he's hitting 260, 20 homers. He's had a down year until the last month or so. When he got back, he's healthy. He looks really good to me. Maybe this is an opportunity for San Diego to acquire a couple of young players to join their young crew. Your Soto, your Fernando Tatis. You got decent enough pitchers in the pen, and Josh Hader, of course, is going to be up for sale considering his contract. So Hader, Snell, I fully expect both of them to get moved tomorrow, but be on the lookout for a wild card, an absolute wild card from San Diego. They're 9 back in the NL West. I think that's far enough back that it's interesting. As for Colorado, the one main guy that I am going to keep my ear to the wall again, CJ Cron. Sounds like there's ties to Minnesota. There are people who want him back there within that clubhouse. So be interesting. I don't really find AL Central teams to be buyers, but that's just me. I get it. I understand that somebody's got to win that crappy division and might as well be my Minnesota Twins. But CJ Cron, I would expect he is the main piece that could get moved before tomorrow. There's no McMahon getting moved. There's no Trejo getting moved. No Tavar getting moved. Blackman's on the IL. Otherwise, I think that would be interesting. Profar, there are options where he could get moved. Colorado's obviously not winning anything this year. And, well, this total's 12. Speaking of which, if we end up having Tatis and Machado playing in this lineup, Both of them, I expect to have total bases of 1.5 inside of -130, and I really don't even care. I would fire them both up together as a nice little package. Say, hey, runs, you want to show up? Maybe package it with the total, but even still, these are two guys that at altitude, at Coors Field, against a lefty in Austin Gomber with a .511 expected slugging and a 45% hard hit percentage, pretty optimal launch as well, 11.6 degree average launch angle. Looks pretty good to me. That's a good bet. Put those two together if they are in this lineup, and if that Machado thing does not come to fruition, which I kind of expected not to, but wanted to throw it out there. No line for this one, but another spot where there are a lot of question marks that I want to be paying attention to. And I will say, I think this TBD ends up being Nick Pivetta. I think Nick Pivetta has earned an opportunity to get a start. They did the super smart thing. They avoided the Acuna, Matt Olson. They avoided the main 3-4 batters at the top of that Atlanta lineup. Had an opener. He came back out, looked incredible yet again. Can he pull it off as a starter? I'm just going to be sitting back, hands, just sitting on my hands. Just don't click the button. Don't click the button. In fact, if I clicked any button here, it's probably going to end up being possible. We'll talk about why here. George Kirby, I find to be one of the more overrated pitchers relative to the way other people kind of look at him. A .261 expected batting average, a 22.6% K rate, a four-seamer, sinker, slider, curve combination, of which he doesn't really get a whole lot of help from his catcher behind the plate, helping avoiding stolen bases. Doesn't really get a whole lot of whiffs, 22.4%. His first pitch swinging strike rate sitting around 35%. I've never really talked about that one, but I want to a little bit more. 8.2% barrel percentage. The nicest thing he has going for him is this ballpark. The worst situation, though, is there's a lot of lefties come into play. You got Rafael Devers, Tristan Casas, who is starting to take off against righties, especially. He's terrible against lefties. But Jarren Duran, Justin Turner against everybody, Alex Verdugo, Yoshida. You know the guys. We've been backing them all year long. I think we get plus money here. I might have to be dabbling here on the Nick Pivetta side of things. Yeah, see how this works? New information, new results, Boston money line. That's a lean. Very interested to see where this breaks down at. And hey, does Boston make any moves? I doubt it in the AL East. Kind of a wait and see approach. Seattle, don't buy. Please don't. I know you're tied with LA, but don't do it. And the last game of the night, the ultimate question mark, the Arizona Diamondbacks. What do they plan to do in this crazy, wild NL West going up against the Giants? And both of these teams sitting neck and neck in the division. 56-50, 58-48 are the Giants. Wild what they could be doing here. I think both could be buyers. The Giants, they've been sellers when I thought they were buyers. They've been buyers when I thought they were sellers. I don't quite understand what they do from time to time, but again, they are a professional baseball organization that generally wins more than they don't. They've had some really bad years in the last couple of years, but they've always found ways to be extremely competitive on those in-between years. And then this year, I don't think anybody really gave them a chance compared to the Padres, compared to the Dodgers. Same thing with Arizona. Both of these teams really outkicking their coverage, just like me. Look at my wife. But here we are. Friends, Arizona Diamondbacks, I don't know what they plan on doing coming into this one. They could really use another starter and not have it be Ryan Nelson, because Ryan Nelson is not good. 5 ERA, 1.41 whip. They've tried to make Brandon Pfaadt a thing. If they do anything, you want to add to the fray come playoff time, for Merrill Kelly, for Zach Gallen, a third starter. You find a third starter, you make Brandon Pfaadt a bullpen arm, you make Ryan Nelson a bullpen arm. I think they both have decent enough pitch mixes that they can be effective for 1-2 innings at a time. Now, overall as starters, I don't really like either of their stuff. Maybe 2 years down the line, it'll pan out for them. At least this ballpark is generous. However, a lot of home run potential in terms of what these lefties can do with Jock Peterson, with Mike Yastrzemski, with Michael Conforto. And you got Ryan Nelson with a little bit of a home run problem here of late. We're talking 7 home runs in his last 4 outings. That, my friends, is bad. Confirmed bad. It's really, really bad. So, Ryan Nelson, not my favorite back. As for Alex Cobb on the other side of this one, sub 3 ERA, 1.35 whip. However, I think the plus money side has more to gain here. Arizona, we're talking about them with a 107 WRC plus, a just 20% K rate. So if they can find ways to make contact with one Alex Cobb, the projected starter here, 22% K rate, I have no clue what San Francisco is going to do here. Ultimate question mark. That's what I said from the get-go. But I think Arizona is probably the team that stands to benefit the most from any kind of news that drops here today. I doubt anybody in their core group ends up getting traded away. I think they're the more equipped team for October over top of this Giants team. I don't know what to expect from the Giants. I'd be surprised, though, even if they end up buyers, maybe a player or two. I'm not sure. Maybe an Austin Slater gets moved out for somebody they don't have to platoon every single day. Maybe they move. I mean, they're not going to move on from Brandon Crawford. He's going to die in San Francisco, so he's the mayor. Arizona money line. Assuming we get some really big plus money, I will take a shot if need be. Let this be the day of the dog, please. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays for Monday. Yeah, we got that trade deadline fast approaching on Tuesday. I'm looking forward to it. Very excited to see some of these pieces. I think it's already been a little bit more insane than I expected with the Scherzer movement, Jordan Montgomery to Texas. Both of those guys. I mean, everything's bigger in Texas, especially what your owner's willing to pay. That's been a fact. Good stuff by them. Just small market Minnesota Twins fan that feels scorned by the world. But either way, check out BetMGM. They're great. Sign up for that in the video description box below. Thank you to producer Jacob for yet another Lindy's Locks in the book. We're going to be talking through all the trade deadline madness coming up for Tuesday. That is for sure. Going to be another wild slate there. Until next time, my friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Monday.